Now let us understand the first step for preparing the funds flow statement is that schedule of changes in working capital. Schedule of changes in working capital. So this is the first step that we need to complete in the process of preparing procedures for preparing the funds flow statement, that is statement of changes in working capital. Right here, in statement of changes in working capital, to prepare the statement of schedule of changes in working capital, we need to follow a basic principles or the basic rules in treating the current assets and current liabilities. Like the first principle is that increase in current assets, increase in current assets, increase in working capital. We need to increase working capital. Increase in current liabilities, decrease in working capital. Decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital, decrease in current liabilities, increase in working capital. So while preparing schedule of changes in working capital, we must follow these basic principles in order to treat the current assets, current liabilities in schedule of changes in working capital. So the components of the schedule of changes in working capital is that current assets and current liabilities. In treating current assets and current liabilities in schedule of changes in working capital, we need to follow these four basic principles. That is, any increases in current assets, we need to increase the working capital. Any increases in current liabilities, decrease in working capital. Decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital. Decrease in current liabilities, increase in working capital. They are the basic principles. That is, increase in current assets, increase in working capital, increase in current liabilities, decrease in working capital, decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital, decrease in current liabilities, increase in working capital. So they are the four principles that we need to follow, understand while treating the current assets and current liabilities of the business from the two consequent periods of balance sheets. So as we know that to prepare the schedule of changes in working capital or the funds flow statement, we require two subsequent years balance sheets. Two subsequent years balance sheet. So without 2 years balance sheets or the data, we cannot prepare the funds flow statement. So basic principles are increase in current assets, increase in working capital, decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital, increase in current liabilities, decrease in working capital, decrease in working capital, increase in working capital. So they are the basic four principles need to understand and remember while treating the current assets and current liabilities of the business while preparing schedule of changes in working capital. Right? Now let us see what is the format. What is the format that is used to prepare the schedule of changes in working capital in order to determine whether there is an increase in net working capital or decreasing in net working capital. The purpose of preparing this schedule of changes in working capital is to determine whether there is increase or decrease in working capital. So now let us see what is the statement or the format that is used to prepare the schedule of changes in working capital. Particulars. Here you need to take the column called year, and the column can be subdivided into two. Previous, current year, preceding year and current year. Here we can take the column called as changes in working capital. Changes in working capital. Again classified into two, that is increase, decrease. Increase, decrease. So this is the format to prepare schedule of changes in working capital. There are totally three columns: particulars, years, changes in working capital, and year column again subdivided into two columns: previous year and current year, and changes in working capital is dividing into increase and decrease. It means that increases in changes in working capital and decreases in changes in working capital. The components of this schedule of changes in working capital, as we discussed, there are two types, that is A, current assets. Current assets, this is one component, and the second component is current liabilities. Current liabilities, this is the second component of preparing a component of working capital. So here, what is the purpose of this schedule of changes in working capital? To determine the net increase or decrease in working capital. Hence we require to take the two components of working capital, that is current assets and current liabilities. We have the principles to treat the current assets and current liabilities, that is increase in current assets, increase in working capital, decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital, increase in current liabilities, decrease in working capital, decrease in current liabilities, increase in working capital. So these are the four principles to prepare the schedule of changes in working capital, right? For example, by using this format, let us see here the current assets. Current assets means cash, bank, inventory, stock, marketable securities, short-term investments, bills receivables, prepaid expenses, income not yet received. All these are the different current assets. So we need to find the current assets from the given balance sheets in order to substitute in the under the heading of the current assets in statement of changes in working capital. For example, let us see previous year and current year. Let us take your example. We have the balance sheets like 2018 and 2019. So the previous year, current year. So 2018 and 2019, these two are the two subsequent years, 2018 and 19. Now let us see, for example, here there is a item called cash, 10,000 rupees in 2018, 15,000 rupees in 2019. We found that cash is current asset in balance sheet. In 2018 given 10,000, 2019 15,000. So by comparing these two, we find that there is an increase in current assets compared to 2018. Current year 15,000, previous year 10,000. Here the difference between these two is 5,000, that is increase in cash in the current year. When there is increase in current asset, increase in changes in working capital worth of 5,000 rupees. Let take one more example. Bank. There is an item called bank which is also one of the current asset. In the year 2018 there is a 9,000 rupees, and whereas in 2019 given only 8,000 rupees. So current asset bank 9,000 in the year 2018, 8,000 in the year 2019. By comparing these two, the difference between these two is 1,000. That is the bank balance of the business is decreased to 1,000 rupees. When there is a decreases in current assets, decreases in working capital worth of rupees 1,000 rupees. We need to write under the column, in the column decrease, means decreases in changes in working capital. So this is, in this way we need to identify the current assets and current liabilities from the given balance sheets, 2 years balance sheet, in order to write under the headings of current assets and current liabilities, and also take the difference between these two. If any increases in current asset, and write the column under the increase in changes in working capital. Any decreases in current asset, write the amount under the column decreases in changes in working capital. Once you finished, then you need to sum up the current asset, that is total current assets, which is denoted by A, So what is the total of current assets here? 19,000. What is the current assets in 2019? 23,000 rupees. Here need not to sum up the values here. Should not write any lines here. And now coming to the current liabilities, the second component of schedule of changes in working capital to be considered is a current liability. So here from the given balance sheet we need to identify the current liabilities. What are the items are concerned under the current liabilities? Bills, payables, bank overdraft, outstanding expenses, amount dues, and creditors, and other liabilities which are concerned under the current liabilities. Now we need to find out the current liabilities from the given balance sheet in order to write under the heading of current liabilities. Let us take an example here. There is an item that is a creditor. In the year 2018 given 5,000 rupees. In the year 2019 6,000 rupees. So here 5,000 rupees in the year 2018, 6,000 rupees in 2019 respect to the creditors. So we have a principle that any what is happening here, increases or decreases. This is increasing. The current liability in terms of creditors is increased. So any increases in current liabilities decreases in working capital. So here the difference between these two is 1000, that is increased. The current liability is increasing, then there is a effect on working capital respect to decrease in working capital. How much? Worth of 1000 rupees. So here just we are taking the current assets, current liabilities, following the principles of treating these current assets and liabilities in the schedule of changes in working capital. So there is one another item respect to current liabilities is bills payables. For example, in the year 2018 they have given 7000 rupees as bills payables. In the year 2019 they have given, that is 5000 rupees respect to the bills payables. So the difference between these two is 2000 rupees. 2000 rupees increased or decreased? Decreased. The bills payables worth of 2000 rupees decreased when compared to 2019, 2018. 2018 it is 7000, when comes to the 2019 it is decreased to 5000, means the difference between these two is 2000. So when there is decreases in current liability, there should be increase in working capital. So here when there is a decreases in current liability, increases in changes in working capital. So this is the way how the current liabilities will be treated in the statement of changes in working capital. Now sum up the current liabilities, only the current liabilities, that is it is denoted by B, total current liabilities. Total current liabilities. What is the total of current liabilities? 12,000. 6 plus 5, 11,000. Should not write anything in the same row under the changes in working capital. So now we have taken the current assets and current liabilities from the given subsequent balance sheets. Now the time is to determine the net working capital. So net working capital means the difference between current assets and current liabilities. Now calculate net working capital. So net working capital means A minus B. What is A? A is the total current assets. What is B? B is the total current liabilities. Now take the difference between current assets and current liabilities in both the years 2018 and 2019. So what is the total current assets in the year 2018? 19,000. What are the total current liabilities in the year 2018? 12,000. The difference between these two is 7,000 rupees is the net working capital in the year 2018. Similarly, you can also determine the net working capital for the year 2019. 2019 total current assets 23,000, whereas 2019 current liabilities 11,000. The difference between these two is 12,000 rupees. 23,000 minus 11,000 equal to 12,000. Right? So here now we found the net working capital for the year 2018 as well 2019. Now by observing these two figures, that is net working capital, we find that there is increase in net working capital. This is what the purpose of preparation of statement of changes in working capital. What happened here? Increase or decrease? Compared to 2018, 2019 net working capital is increased to 12,000. What is the difference between these two? 5,000 rupees. Now here you can write increase in net working capital. Increase in net working capital, that is 12,000 minus 7,000 equal to 5,000 rupees. Now we need to tally these 2 years columns. 12,000 in the year 2018, 12,000 in the year 2019 also. So when there is increases in net working capital, there is a decrease in changes in working capital, that is 5,000. How you are tallying the 2 years columns in schedule of changes in working capital? Similarly, these two must be tallied. These two columns also need to be tallied. 7,000 rupees. Here also 5, 6, 7. 7,000 rupees. So this is the process of preparing schedule of changes in working capital. Here the heading should be there. What is the heading of this statement? Schedule of changes in working capital. Schedule of changes in working capital for the period 2018 and 2019. This is the heading of this statement. This is a process of preparing schedule of changes in working capital. Simply you need to draw the format, then particulars, year, changes in working capital, increase, decrease, previous and current. Take the headings, that is current assets, current liabilities. From the given balance sheet, take up the items related to the current assets and write under the heading of current assets, and write the figures or the values corresponding to the assets in the previous year and current years. Similarly, the current liabilities also, take up the current liabilities items from the given balance sheet and write here, and also write the amounts for the corresponding liabilities in the 2 years, previous year and the current year. Then sum of the current assets and the current liabilities respectively, and current assets denoted by A, current liabilities denoted by B. Take the difference between the 2 years current assets and current liabilities, which is known as net working capital. By taking the difference between, we need to find out that whether there is a current increase in net working capital or decrease in net working capital. If increase in net working capital, we need to write the difference here in opposite side. Then you can tally the two columns, that is year columns. Similarly, where there is a increase in working capital, this is our required, this is what we determined from this statement, that is increase in net working capital. Then you can post in decreases in changes in working capital. If any decreases in net working capital, then there is a increase in changes in working capital, in order to tally the two columns of changes in working capital. This is the process of preparing statement of changes in working capital. The second step in procedure for preparation of funds flow statement is that profit and loss adjustment account or adjusted profit and loss account. Preparation of profit and loss adjustment account or adjusted profit and loss account. Just now we have seen that how to prepare schedule of changes in working capital. The second step immediately after completing the preparation of schedule of changes in working capital is the preparation of profit and loss adjustment account. This is an account, not a statement. So, determination of funds from operations by adjusted profit and loss account. It is a process of determination of funds from operations or funds loss in operations by preparing this profit and loss adjustment account. In this profit and loss adjustment account, we will consider only all the non-operating expenses and non-operating incomes. I am repeating, non-operating expenses and non-operating operating incomes. These two are the components that are used to determine funds from operations or funds loss in operation. So here this is a format of account. The preparation of this statement is we need to draw two columns, that is debit column and credit column, like our ledger account. The title of the account is profit and loss adjustment account for the period as per the given. We need to write the period. Here the two columns are debit column and the credit column. So this statement is dividing into two columns. Debit column left hand side, credit column is the right hand side column. Now the debit column of the profit and loss account reveals all the non-operating expenses, where the credit column of this statement or account is non-operating incomes or gains. I am repeating, non-operating expenses are in debit side, non-operating incomes are in the credit side. Non-operating incomes and expenditures means these expenditures or incomes not gained or not incurred by because of business operations. This is not because of the business operations. So therefore that kind of such kind of operations are called as non-operating expenses and non-operating incomes. Let us see the items which are comes under generally in common non-operating expenses. Loss on sale of assets. Whenever the business sold the assets in the market, if incurred any losses, that is a loss on sale of asset, which is not because of the activities conducted in the business. That is, it is not the business operation. Existing asset that is sold by business incurred losses, that is one of the non-operating expenses. The second one is discount on issue of shares. So any discount given by the business to the shareholders at the time of issuing the shares, it is also related to the loss in terms of discount. That is also one of the non-operating expenses. Then discount on issue of debentures. If there is no demand for our debentures in the market, then the company decided to give some discount for the debenture holders. So that is also one type of expenditure or the loss to the business. Hence it is treated as a non-operating expenses. Then depreciation on assets. So depreciation, every accounting period depreciation is calculated by the business in order to ascertain the net value of the asset. But actually that depreciation may not happen. So that is also one of the non-operating expenses that is to be taken under profit and loss adjustment account. Goodwill written off. Goodwill written off also one of the loss due to any reason. If you reduce the value of goodwill of the business, that is also one of the non-operating expenses. Transfer to general reserve, non-operating expenses. Interim dividend paid, non-operating expenses. Whereas coming to the credit side of the statement, gain on sale of asset. So business is not doing selling and purchasing the assets, but here unfortunately or due to that asset to be due to any reason, if the asset is sold in the market, so due to that transaction, if any gains, if any amount gained by the business, then that is called as a non-operating income. That is one of the item. And dividend income on investments. So sometimes business may invest their capital in some other businesses as investments. So any dividend received by the business from the other companies, from other businesses, that is not income received gained by the business because of the business operations, but the dividend received from other businesses. So that is also one of the non-operating income. So other than this, any other non-operating incomes available in the financial statements, that is profit and loss account or any other statements are available to prepare this profit and loss adjustment account, we need to post in the credit side of profit and loss adjustment account. Remember, any item which we are posting in the debit side of the account, we need to start with the word to. Any item that we are posting in the credit side of the account, we need to start with the word by. This already we have learned in preparation of ledgers in financial accounting concepts. So here these two are the non-operating expenses and non-operating incomes. Apart from these, there are two important items are there in profit and loss adjustment account, that is balance carried down and balance brought down. Balance brought down and balance carried down. For example, you are preparing the funds flow statement for the years 2018 and 2019. In balance sheet, you may find the profit and loss account information for the 2 years. So P&L account 2018 some amount given and 2009 also given. So the profit and loss account amount that is given in the year 2018 is known as a opening balance of the profit and loss account, which is denoted by balance brought down. This is the profit which we found in the previous year profit and loss account information, or directly you can write P&L account within the brackets previous, nothing wrong. Whereas the profit and loss account information which is given in the year 2019, that is known as current year profit and loss account. Here you can be written as balance carried down, amounts in outer column, or P&L account current, because it is current year profit and loss account information. So this is how we need to treat the profit and loss account information available in the balance sheet. We need to post this profit and loss account information in profit and loss adjustment account for the current year as well the previous year. Now, after posting all these amounts on the items in the profit and loss adjustment account, the time is to close the account. At the time of closing the account, first we need to find the totals of the debit and credits of this account. If you find that the total amount of the debit column, I am repeating, the total amount of the debit column is more than the total amount of the credit column, then it is written as by funds from operations. Funds from operations. If any amount, that is credit amount, is more than the debit amount, then we can write it as to funds loss in operations. Funds loss in operations. So this is the process of preparing profit and loss adjustment account. So the purpose of preparing this profit and loss adjustment account is that here to determine whether there is funds from operations or funds loss in operations. This is a process of preparing profit and loss adjustment account for the given period. If you find the funds from operations, that is sources to the business. If you determine funds loss in operations, that is application of the business, that is outflow of the business. So this is the process of preparing profit and loss adjustment account. The third step in preparation of funds flow statement is that funds flow statement. Funds flow statement or sources and application statement. Sources and application statement of the business. You can write as a funds flow statement or sources and applications of the statement. So this is the third step and the last step in preparing the funds flow statements. So the major components which we are using to prepare the funds flow statement is that fixed assets and the long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities, they are the components of sources and application statement or the funds flow statement, such as fixed assets and the long-term liabilities. So fixed assets are the assets which are not comes under the current assets. These fixed assets also called as a non-current assets, where the long-term liabilities are the liabilities which are not comes under the current liabilities. Hence, it is also called as a non-current liabilities. So there are various fixed assets in the business like land, buildings, machinery, technology, vehicles, computers, or any asset which will give the service to the business or the company for a long period. All the assets are known as fixed assets. These fixed assets information will be found in asset side of balance sheets. Whereas the long-term liabilities means equity share capital, preference share capital, debenture capital, long-term loans, or any other long-term borrowings available in the balance sheet that all are comes under the long-term liabilities. So these liabilities will be found in the liability side of the given balance sheets. So these two are the very important components which we need to consider while preparing the sources and application statement or the funds flow statement. Now let us see what is the format that is used to prepare the funds flow statement or the sources and application statement. So here the heading of this statement is sources and application statement for the period based on the given year or the period. We need to write here, or directly you can write as the funds flow statement, nothing wrong. Here this statement divide into the two columns, that is left hand side of the statement sources and the right hand side of the statement is known as applications. Amount in rupees. Here sources means inflows, application means outflows. Sources and applications of the business. So sources, generally funds are derived from operating of the business. that is operating income, income from investment, sale of assets, sale of long-term investments, contribution of the shareholders, increasing long-term liabilities like long-term loans, borrowings, debentures, any other liability like gifts and any other liabilities increased, or the assets, fixed assets decreased, that is comes under the sources of the business. And the applications of the business generally derived from the operating losses, that is repayment of long term loans, repayment of debentures, repayment of preference shareholder capital, purchase of fixed assets, purchase of long term investments, loss of cash by like any cost or legal actions or the legal cases, or any loss that has incurred, any expenditure that has incurred with the huge capital, that is comes under the application. Means simply we can say that when the cash coming into the form in any form, that is known as the sources of the business, the cash will go out in any form, that is called as applications of the business. So this is a statement which reveals the sources and applications of the business, or inflows and outflows of the business. And one more important thing, that here the components that we are take into consider while preparing this statement is that fixed assets and long term liabilities, right? So at the time of treating these components, fixed assets and the long term liabilities, we need to remember the four principles. We need to remember the certain principles to post in the sources and applications side of the statement, such as any increases in fixed assets, any increases in fixed assets, that is application of the business, that is application or outflow of business. Any decreases in fixed assets, that is a sources or inflow of business. And respect to the liabilities, any increases in long term liabilities, that is source to the business, source or inflow to the business. Any decreases in long term liabilities, that is application or outflow of the business. So these are the four principles that we need to remember at the time of preparing the funds flow statement or sources and applications statement. That such as any increases in fixed assets, that is application or the outflow, and any decreases in fixed assets, we need to treat that as a source or the inflow. Any increases in long term liabilities, that is source or the inflow of the business. Any decreases in long term liabilities, that is application or outflow of the business. These four principles are very important while treating the fixed assets and long term liabilities. Like in schedule of changes in working capital, increase in current assets, increase in working capital, decrease in current assets, decrease in working capital, increase in current liabilities, decrease in working capital, decrease in working capital, increase in current liabilities, increase in working capital. Similarly, here also we have four principles, such as fixed assets increases, that is application or the outflow of business. here decrease in fixed asset, that is source or the inflows, increase in long term liabilities, that is source or the inflow, decrease in long term liabilities, that is application or the outflow. So by comparing the 2 years fixed assets and the long term liabilities, we need to post either in sources or application side of funds flow statement or sources and application statement. So these four principles are very important to remember while treating the fixed assets and long term liabilities while preparing this statement. Now let us see what are the different items are to be posted in the application and the sources side. Here sale of fixed assets, sale of fixed asset, that is one of the source to the business. Here if you sell the fixed asset, that is the source. Here opposite, purchase of fixed asset, purchase of fixed asset, that is application, cash outflow. Here issue of shares, issue of shares, when you issue the shares, the capital is coming into the business, that is source to the business. Opposite to this, redemption, redemption in shares, means redeemable. If there any shares redeemed, then the capital will be paid to the respective shareholders, that is redemption in shares, and cash going out. Here increase in loans, if you take any loans, increase loans, that is a source to the business. Decreased loans, repayment of loans, then automatically the loans will be decreased. Loans decreased when the loans repaid, then automatically the cash is going out, that is application of funds. And other sources, here other applications, other applications. If you find that any cash is coming out, any cash is coming into the business, fund is into the business, that is source to the business, any cash is going out from the business, that is comes under the applications of the business. So apart from this, so we need to take up the results of the schedule of changes in working capital and the fund profit and loss adjustment account. So before preparing this sources and application statement, we must prepare schedule of changes in working capital and profit and loss adjustment account. After preparing schedule of changes in working capital, if you find that any increase in net working capital, increase in net working capital, that is application of the funds, that is outflow of the funds. So here increase in net working capital, increase in net working capital is the application of the business. Decrease in net working capital is the source to the business. And from the profit and loss adjustment account, if you find funds from operations, funds from operations, that is a source to the business. If you determine funds loss in operations, funds loss in operations, that is a application of the business, that is outflow of the business. So after posting the assets and liabilities of the business in terms of sources and applications, we need to we need to take these two informations from the schedule of changes in working capital and the profit and loss adjustment account. If any decreases in net working capital, that is source to the business, any increases in net working capital, that is application of the business. Here any information like funds from operations, that is source to the business, any information determined funds loss in operation, that is applications of the business. So after posting all the items in both sides of the sources and application statement, we need to sum up the amounts in both sides. So here after summing up the amounts in both sides, you should get the equal amount in both sides. Means the two columns must be tallied like balance sheet. If any changes, if these two balances are mismatched, means that there are some mistakes in the posting of the amounts, posting of the items in the respective columns in statement of changes in working capital or funds from operations or profit and loss adjustment account or the source and application statements. You must tally these two columns in funds flow statement. Then only we can set that the funds flow statement is showing the accurate information. So after preparing this funds flow statement, we can interpret the results, that is based on the applications and the sources, we need to interpret the statement called funds flow statement. So this is also a very important statement that we need to prepare in order to know the financial position of the company. So here there are the three steps that we need to complete in order to prepare the funds flow statement. What are they? Such as schedule of changes in working capital, adjusted profit and loss account, and the funds flow statement or sources and application statement. So the important points that you need to remember at the time of preparing these three steps are: at the time of preparing the sources and application schedule of changes in working capital, there are two components must be taken here, the current assets and current liabilities. At the time of treating the current assets and current liabilities in the schedule of changes in working capital, you need to remember the four principles or the rules, that is increase in current assets, increase in changes in working capital, decrease in current assets, decrease in changes in working capital, increase in current liabilities, decrease in changes in working capital, decrease in current liabilities, increases in changes in working capital. These four principles are the rules are very important apply on current assets and current liabilities in order to post in the schedule of changes in working capital. The second step in preparation of this funds flow statement is that adjusted profit and loss account or profit and loss adjustment account, or sometimes we can also written it as funds from operations statement or funds from operations account. So this is an account, not a statement. So we need to divide this into two, debit column and credit column. So the debit column of the account shows all the non-operating expenses like losses, expenditures, loss on sale of fixed assets, discount on issue of shares, discount on issue of debentures, goodwill written off, transfer the general reserve, depreciation. All these are the non-operating expenses. Whereas the credit side of the profit and loss adjustment account post all the non-operating incomes, such as dividend received from the other companies because of investments, or any gains or the profits on sale of assets, any other non-operating incomes identified, right? So we need to post in the credit side of profit and loss adjustment account. After preparing this profit and loss adjustment account, we may find the funds from operations or the funds loss in operations. If the credit is less than the debit, or if the debit amount is more than the credit amount, then we can realize that the funds from operations, if the credit amount is more than the debit amount, that is funds loss in operations. So here the purpose of preparing the profit and loss adjustment account is to determine whether the business funds from operations or funds loss in operations. And the third step in funds flow statement is that the sources and application statement, sometimes directly itself called as a funds flow statement, where we can consider the two components, that is fixed assets or non-current assets, long-term liabilities or non-current liabilities. So here any increases in fixed asset, that is source to the business, any decreases in fixed assets is applications, any increases in fixed assets, that is application, any decreases in fixed asset is the source. So any increases in the long-term liabilities is the source to the business, any decreases in long-term liabilities application of the business. So there are the four rules that we need to follow at the time of preparing the funds flow statement. And here, after uh, posting all the fixed assets and the long-term liabilities from the given balance sheet, we need to transfer the result of the statement of changes in working capital and the profit and loss adjustment account. Any increases in net working capital from the schedule of changes in working capital, that is application of the statement. Any decreases in net working capital, that is sources to the business. Any funds from operations, that is sources to the business. And funds loss in operations, that is applications of the statement. So here, after posting all the items and the information in both the sources and applications side in the funds flow statement, we must tally the both columns, that is sources column and applications column. So whenever these two columns are tallied, then we can say that the funds flow statement showing the accurate information. If any matches are there, means that we have done some mistake in previous statements, like profit and loss adjustment account or schedule of changes in working capital, or in posting any items in any one of these three statements. So my dear students, this funds flow statement preparation is very easy when you have a thorough knowledge or basics of the financial accounting concepts, like final accounts. What are the current assets, current liabilities, fixed assets and long-term liabilities, operating expenses and non-operating expenses, non-operating incomes and operating incomes. Then it is very easy concept and easy to understand also. Okay, thank you.